Shoot. There we go. Hello there. Well, let's go over this again. Um, I forgot to add myself to the stage. Yeah, so let's run this through again. I'm Great Northern JJ. This is episode 64 of Rocky Off the Rails. And we're running trains, and we missed a train already. So, yeah, we're talking about the second level. And unfortunately, my camera is really blurry today. I don't know what's going on. You can see right there is one of the trains going back up the helix. And it's following another one right there in the lower corner. So slow that second train down a bit. You can slow down a bit as long as it can make it up the grade. And let's go through and see what we've got. Who's in the chat today? I think my brother Dan is driving back to Ohio today. He went to see my mom for Thanksgiving. So, hi, Mom. Let's go back over here. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. We got to Andy from Montrose and Highland. Welcome. You're here early again. Yes. Okay. Yep. Pass on this note for Dwight and the other Andy. We got Hot Dog Pilot Andy here. Welcome. Both of you from the UK. Both of you, the first two in here that I see. And seeing a chit chat back and forth between both of you. Pete Motley. Happy post Thanksgiving. Yeah, it is that time. Let's see if I could catch train going. Oh, this already out of the helix. Yeah, we missed it. So the work train pulling the crane and the pickled onions car, the Hind 57 car is, I see it, it's on the second level right now. Let's get back to who we got in here. So Pete Motley, welcome to the show. JP, good morning. And looks like that's it. We don't have a big crew here. We got 8 people watching and about 4 people chatting. So there we go. Let's see. Hey, there we go. You can see it all blurry and everything. Again, I apologize for that camera view. I just ran out of time to get everything's going. But it is kind of blurry, isn't it? I'm sure there's a way to adjust it, but I don't dare do that while everything's running here. Let me see. Might be able to do something, or I can break everything. So let's see. Oh, that's some Logitech something. Let's see if this G Hub app does anything. Of course. Well, it doesn't look blurry here. Hey, it looks sharper now. Okay, well, maybe that worked. All right, so maybe we'll catch on. You speed that up a little bit. So I've got one scale trains, and we're doing kind of like Burlington Northern, Santa Fe, Great Northern schemes today. I didn't want to chance running my Great Northern equipment on the show. It's been a while since I've had them, but there you go. They're not that close, but maybe we can zoom in on those. If I can do it before, no, they're going to be out of the frame. Yeah, so I've got this BNSF. I forget if it's, no, it's stuck. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. It's probably these coaches. He's hung up over here. Hung up on what? It's just these coaches. So these overweight male coaches just drag with those 6 axles. So it went into that super elevated turn and it didn't like that. And I can hear it over the mic. I can hear it just like chugging to pull those. It's a struggle. That's the one thing I don't like about any manufacturer's heavyweight 3 axles. They just drag. They just drag. So maybe when it comes back down here, I'm gonna swap some stuff out on that. So let's put some other cars on there. I'm getting them off camera right now. We got a few cars I'm gonna put on there that might run better. We'll have to wait for it to come down. All right. So there you see it passing in front of the camera. Sorry, I didn't have time. And hopefully it makes its way back down. I forgot to turn the light on it. And let's see. Somewhere in the helix. So this is the problem with the helix. Your trains are going to spend most of your time in the helix. How unfortunate. Okay, here we go. Switch cameras fast. There we go. There's a Santa Fe. Let's see if I get this right. RSD 15, I think. AKA Alligator. Because it's got that long hood. Okay, let's get back in here. What are people talking about? People are doing some nonsense quotes from the airplane movie. Yeah, what's your vector, Victor? Under, over. Okay. So let's get back. I didn't even transfer. I didn't change your camera view. There you go. You missed that. But there's Rocky again. And we'll see it come through the lower part of the picture. Again, what we got there. Let me see. We've got some coaches we'll put on there instead of those big dragging things. So yeah, these are the Lowell Smith coaches and whatnot. Maybe this might be a sleeper. Yeah. And there's one, I think this might even be a diner. It's got a bunch of vents back here, and this might be the kitchen. Over on this side you can see there's small windows over there. But I'm going to replace those out. As soon as it makes its way back over here, I'm going to speed it up some. Because the Kato, it's super speedy. And there you go. You can see the Alligator making its way back to the helix, because the trains are always going to be in the helix, are they not? And where is the other train? It is speedily coming over here. So let me go back to Rocky. Rocky's going to oversee. We're going to swap these coaches, these mail cars out for Yeah, here it is. Express mail coming in. Santa's got deliveries to make, and we're getting these cars, getting all the presents ready. There it is. Okay, so we're going to stop them right about here. Slow the other train down a little bit so we've got some time. And I'll take these off. Maybe we'll leave one of them on there. I think 3 might have been overkill. The cars are binding because I've never, ever seen a 3-axle truck not bind. Multiple manufacturers, Intermountain, and wherever Lowell Smith is sourcing his from, they always are, they're not binding, they're just, I don't know, they're slow runners. They are definitely not Kato trucks. Kato passenger cars, in my opinion, are some of the best in the industry for their smooth running. Now, their couplers are not authentic, but they are small and they keep the cars coupled close together. But there you go. I've got this passenger train set up, and let's send it. Let's get it on its way. And to see, don't know where that Santa Fe, oh, he's making his way up. So we'll switch over to this view right now. Let's speed this guy back up. 25 and 15. Okay. So I timed this last night, and to go from one spot on the layout to another spot, and if I didn't say it, I probably missed it. Howdy, Dwight. Thanks for joining the show. To go from one spot up on the helix, make a complete circuit at speed step 25 with this, which seemed like it's about 25 miles an hour, maybe not. It took 13 and a half minutes, almost 14 minutes just to do that. So that tells you how much track is really in the helix. But yeah, there you go. You could see that running there. And right now, maybe I will figure out adding my iPhone again. Hey, SB Mike 3698, welcome to the show. And Wesley, it's a morning for me and afternoon for you. Just barely afternoon. So Mike and Wesley, welcome to the show. And make sure that we're still making progress with the... Nope, we're stuck again. We are stuck. And this time we have derailed. Yep. This time we have some derailment action going on. So, and also, okay, we're just pulling this whole crew here. We're going to be down to one train. I should have put 2 locomotives on there. Going upgraded, didn't want to pull that. So that'll be it for now. I'm not going to figure out doing a contest on live TV. All right. So there you go. It's been taken off. Second train has been removed from duty. That's what you get. I did not have time to actually run that consist last night. So if you look at, I'm going to switch views here. We're going to go back to the main camera, and I'm going to show you. Now, these cars, they look great. It's a storage baggage car from Lowell Smith. I bought all 3 of them that he had. And the doors open and close, but getting them all to close at once. There we go. All right. Doors open and close. It's a storage mail. These and they're heavy duty. So I don't know whether they're carrying gold, maybe payroll. Okay, so these trucks are the source of the issues. They do not smoothly roll. So maybe I'll investigate heavy duty truck from Kato or something. Pull one of these wheel sets out of here. You see, those are thicker than most, but that's the wheel set there. Yeah. I could get some greasem and put it in there, but I don't know why these particular sets of trucks do not, or they're not smooth rollers. They just, it's not their binding. They just have a lot of friction. So yeah, I'd hate to put any oil on these. I just don't like the idea of putting something that's going to attract grit and grime. Usually over time, adding oil to stuff, you're going to pay for it. Yeah, they really should, JP. They really should run well out of the box. And this is why I still like Kato trains. And all the other passenger cars pretty much do the same. I think it just has to do with, to tell you the truth, he's got, these are Kato couplers. I bet those are Kato trucks. So anyways, yeah, I could use some of that graphite powder, but we'll figure that out. And they're good. They've got some weight to them, and that can also be the reason why they are slow. Got some heft to them. Okay, well, that is what I got. I got those in this week. I ordered those while I was in China. Hey, Closet Branch, too much information, but nice to see you too. So let's go back. Where is our fellow little I'm looking for the Santa Fe. Looking for the Santa Fe, trying to track him down. So I'm off, standing away from the camera right now, making sure he's not hung up somewhere. And I don't see any signs of him. Oh, he's running right in front of me. Let me take this sweatshirt off. Yeah, so I was looking for him all over the place by the helix, and here he is. You got it. Well, let's do a run by for the rail fans here. There we go. We're coming back into the picture frame. There we go. Now, track 2 here doesn't have the full benefits of the overhead lighting. It looks like from three and on have most of the lights. These front two tracks don't catch the light from above. And right now I don't have any lights in the train room on this side. So the only light that we're getting is from reflected lights from the far overhead. Okay, well, let's get the train rolling again. And then turn the bell on. Nice second generation diesel horn. Again, that's a RSD 15. Flex in the bogie frames with less than the friction. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I'll have to investigate. I don't know why those things. You know, the Kato ones, I can take these wheel sets and I can just do this and they'll like spin for a long time. And these, you can tell they've got friction there. Maybe I'll hit up Lowell Smith and see what he has to say about that. Track 6. Track 6 is a few log cars. All that up there. And a little crane used for hoisting the logs onto cars. So this would be something they would take out and use for off-track log pickup. That's a little kit that I got from Microtrains. Of course, you know, your guess is as good as mine if they do those things anymore. So who knows what the future will hold. We may have seen the end of 3D printing because who knows? There's no spring. There's no spring, or at least there is none now in one of those. So, yeah. You know, if people put springs in there, then one of the problems you will have immediately is you take the wheel sets apart and the springs are sprung. They're gone. Boom. So we'll figure it out. But I like the cars, and then just adding to that whole set of Empire Builders that I've got from at least 3 different manufacturers, maybe 4 now. I think. Hey, there you go. Dan is in Marmot, West Virginia. He's refilling his car with juice. And yeah, there we go. Thanks for joining the show. Let's see, it's not 12:30, so you must have gotten a good start to be all the way in West Virginia by now. Yeah. So be the most controversial will be for the whole day. And I'm saying Wolverines. Okay. Go Ducks. Yep, that's what I'm picking. And Hook 'em Longhorns. Yeah, way to take down an undefeated team last night. Okay, that's as controversial as we're going to get. I know everybody's. Yeah, I have a rule. I have my new rule is I root against anybody who has red in their colors. So guess who that means? Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Sooners. They're right out. Kansas City Chiefs, no way. I just made that up a few days ago, but it seemed like a good thing. Just root against red. And it worked. See, the Cowboys beat the Chiefs last on Thursday, 2 nights ago. Who knows what the future holds? The question is, do the Wolverines have Ohio State's number? We'll find out soon. They may even be starting. I don't know what time the game starts. Probably 10. Check my phone. Most of the people on the channel probably don't care about the game. But only us diehard fans, diehard football fans. Let's see. Oregon plays at 12:30 my time, and Michigan is up 3 already. 3-0. And there was some interception. Okay. So there you go. I don't know what happened. Ohio State looks like it's been intercepted already. Let's look at the stats. Ohio State, yep, their quarterback's got an interception 2.5 minutes in, and that defense has his number. So there you go. Multiple apps for sports. Yeah, it doesn't cost me any money. Dwight wants to know, Dan, how much does it cost to charge your car and how long it takes? Well, it depends on how much juice he has to put in his car. But I can tell you this, Dwight, it costs a lot less depending on where you're at. Superchargers probably are half the cost of gas. And he'll probably spend, if he's down to the low 10% or lower, he might take 20 minutes. Enough time to get out and stretch your legs on a long drive. 20, 30 minutes. If you stagger your charging sessions out, any one stop doesn't need to be more than that. Enough time to go hit the head, walk around, stretch the legs. It is, I'll tell you, it is a different lifestyle than just driving up to the pump, pumping the gas and driving off. It does take more time right now. But I don't know. I've had my car for 5 years, and I rarely charge it outside. I have it charged up at home. Where compared to how much it costs to heat my home with electric and a heat pump, it's not even noticeable. I mean, I think I added maybe $30, $40 a month to my electric bill. So compare that to how much I'm putting in my other car and gas, which is $100. Okay. I have a rough plan. So there's going to be two themes going up there. The main line's going to come around and come out to this peninsula. I still have behind where the camera is sitting, of course, you know there's the 10 tracks of the staging yard that go around. There'll be a similar end cap at the end of the peninsula here that I need to build. And so what's going to happen is the two main lines will come up and stay together for most of the way as they make their way around, up and around the peninsula, and then separate to make a loop and come back and go. So there will also be, I think, some kind of industries on the front here. It won't all just be, but so I'll make it so that there's some switching opportunities off the main line here. So maybe even a small yard. On the opposite side of the helix, on the side that's closest to the helix on the peninsula, that's where there'll be the end yard for the branch line and some industries there. So there'll also be a branch line that runs the whole way coming off of the helix and coming around to here. So I might have 2 or 3 wood-related industries that are along the way and out at the interchange yard. So the interchange yard is just right off the helix. Do you have 2 cars? I do have 2 cars, and my partner is driving the one right now. I had for a long time, we were down to 1 car. Yeah, so there's opportunities to have more than 1 operator. Maybe Pete will come over, help me out. Definitely, just setting up the switch outs for the branch line on the second level could be something in itself. I mean, a lot of people's layouts, that would probably be their whole thing. Look at Brad's layout down in New Zealand, his Willow Creek Industrial Spur. I mean, it'll be about that size and not as modeled as well, I'm sure. Certainly not as detailed as well. So, yeah, I wanted to make it, and I'm not sure if I'll do that. I don't think I'm going to do that on the third level. The third level will be a little bit more narrow. As I go up each level, they'll be stepped back. So the main thing about the third level will probably be, it will still be an out and back. So the main lines will come up and then go back. But I intend the third level to be, because it's where I have the most height, that will represent kind of passing through the mountains. So that's where I can model some high relief there. And so that might just be passing through the Cascades on the front here, and on the back, maybe I'll have another place I'll have some places for switching opportunities. But here we go, is that RSD-15. And this is the locomotive, Andy Hanley. This is the locomotive that will be pulling the mixed freight that's going to go to Sensetta. And it will also form the basis for, I might put the Kodachrome SD40-J. I might put the Kodachrome in with it. Yes, I will have 3 levels. In fact, you can see the helix. If I switch over views again, you can see the helix, that top level of the helix. So there's 3 more turns that take you from the second level to the third level. I did not get my second. So here's the thing. My second level is not done. And contrary to fake news, there's no competition between myself and JP. I just took this week. I had a week off. I said, didn't you just get back from vacation? Well, I spent a significant time. Yeah, it's okay, Andy. We can worry about. We'll just consider it to be they switched equipment midway. So yeah. Let me address this. Yeah, I understand. We will change equipment, and it's perfectly acceptable. We'll just pretend. So, equipment, consist, the whole thing could be different by the time we can make its way there as we travel across the country or travel south, as it were. So, the main objective I had was I pulled up the helix so you can see the helix has been partially disassembled. So I get access to that area where there's a turnout. The turnout allows me to either take to come back down the helix or come out, or we can come out of the second level. So it was important to me that I have a always running layout. And so what you see now coming up to the second level is I'm waiting on a few things to arrive that have not yet shipped. So in the last week, I decided this. One, I wanted to have access to the underside of the sub roadbed. So I have installed hinges that keep the sub roadbed in place while I lift it away from the benchwork. I'm also in progress of redoing the lighting there in front, below that benchwork. So that'll also be using the same kind of angle bracket or this L aluminum. Let me go get a piece of it. It's over here on the other side. I will show you what I'm talking about. I can still hear the train clickety clacking, so we're still okay. It's making its way up the first round of the helix. Okay, so this is 1-inch aluminum. And so what I do is I drill holes in 2 places. It doesn't bend. It may twist, but there's no twisting thing. So I put the strip lighting is adhesive to the downward facing side. And then this hangs below, and this one side acts as kind of like a fascia, or it shields that light from coming out towards you. So I got these in 4-foot sections because they're more manageable. They also come in other lengths, but yeah. So that's the idea. The reason that I'm gonna redo the lighting is I did have the lighting affixed to the plywood. And I didn't like the idea that you'd be making holes for feeder wires. I may want to attach, I'm not sure, for that yard, I may want to put in tortoise switch machines. And I may want to do those things. I'm going to switch the camera view back over so we can see that train come up again. Yeah, 9:42. My, the time does go quickly, doesn't it? So thanks everybody. And my brother would normally remind me, but he's not here to do so. So we'll put it in here. Hey, if you're still here, like and subscribe. We're up to 505 subs right now. And I still haven't figured out what the prize will be. It's probably going to be a Christmas giveaway / 500 subs. We seem to be holding steady over that. So I'm going to figure that out on a later show. And hold on a minute. We're going to see that train pass right in front of us, exiting off the helix and going into the temporary second level turnaround. So right where you see that light tower, right as it passed right there, that's where it transitions off of the flex track onto Kato Unitrack, which is I'm using as a temporary thing. I will also likely, as I go, extend Kato Unitrack farther and farther as a temporary thing. Why? Because it's easily to put together. It's easy to take apart, and I don't have to worry about it. I have more than enough Kato Unitrack to do probably the whole second level if I wanted to. But I just don't like the geometry of the turnouts. There you go. That's my number one user. So I came to a decision. So I had these lift out sections, right? So each one of these like 3 foot long sections of plywood sub road bed can be lifted up away from the benchwork and will stay in place when they come down. Those hinges keep it stable. I have hooks, and I've got another thing to actually make sure that they come down and attach firmly in the front. Some of those pieces are coming, maybe even today, from Amazon. There's these things called cabinet latches, which I'm going to figure out how to attach on the backside. The other thing I'm going to do is that sub row bed is just plywood. It's not firmly attached to anything else except those hinges. So I'm going to have to make, I'm going to have to take another piece or two of wood and run it the whole length so it remains as stable as possible. Because half inch plywood, even in the home, it tends to, I can see it right in front of me. It doesn't, it will warp a little bit. And a little bit at end scale might be 2 or 3 centimeters up from one side to the other. And that is just not really acceptable, because if you get that variance, your track's going to be messed up. So what am I going to do about the sections of rail that cross from one piece of plywood to the other? My answer is fast tracks. Yeah, I got it. You painted yours. I didn't paint mine. Maybe I should have. Okay. But maybe I should do that. It's a good thing. I think it's still warped. There's still places where it won't come down nice and solid. So anyways, I'm going to have, I took a hint from people that do, what is it, T-track or N-track modules. They use Code 55 rail, and they use these PC board ties, so you can solder the ends of rail to them and they remain stable, unlike the plastic ties that you have. So I went further and I said, hey, why don't I just buy the jigs for the radiuses that I need of the curves? Because unfortunately, one of the transitions or multiple of the transitions that I have are curving as they pass from one section to the other. And that's a recipe for insanity. So, okay, yeah, similar to that. But I went, as usual, I went to a different method, and I'm going to try out hand laying track. So that's going to keep those curves stable. Like flex track over time could move around a little bit. I'll also go and grab some gap masters. Yeah, there's Dan's response. He probably missed my explanation earlier on, but yeah, costs less, takes longer. That's the gist of it for now. There are promises that will improve over time. Okay, so that's my journey, and I've got ordered. I've got a straight piece template to make straight track, and I've got a template to make 17 and a half, 16 and a quarter, and 15 inch. It depends, Dwight. It depends on how fast you drive. And it depends on how far he's charged up. So typically the range on that vehicle at full charge is going to be over 300 miles. About the same as, yeah, he answered the other question. 15 to 25 minutes is how long it takes to charge, not how long it lasts. So there's a bunch of people on YouTube you can watch about their experiences charging the stuff. I think it's largely a well-established thing. One of the guys I watch is Out of Spec Reviews. He's a gearhead, but on the electron side. But he also has diesel, and he loves cars of all kinds. What's his name? I forget his name. Anyways, Out of Spec Reviews. He can talk about all that. There you go. This is what Dan says. Stop with 20 cents, 20%. I'll take the 75, enough to get me to the next stop with margin. And to tell you the truth, that's kind of the sweet spot. At a certain point to charge the batteries, it gets harder to push the electrons in as it approaches over 90%. So you only do that on a long trip where you know there's like a big span that you need to cover. I have 40-foot box cars with roof walks. Yes, I do. Okay, Eddie, get to the chopper. I'll catch you later. I know it's later into the evening for you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I do have 40-foot box cars with roof walks. I also have more modern box cars as well, all the way up, including 40 foots and high cubes and 50 foots and even the more modern ones. So yeah, I have a large selection over the multiple eras. I didn't stick to a single era. In fact, you can see if you watched that car that my brother Dan bought for me, that Heinz 57 Reefer, has got roof walks on it. How high might my third level be? Well, we can answer that question right now. So I can tell you generally, at least in the front you walk in, the first level is about 30 inches. The second level is 45, and the third level will be about between 58 and 60 inches. So for me, that third level will be right at eye level as I walk around. So by that time, I should have mastered the skills necessary to make the third level be the scenic level. So that's basically it. I've got a good separation between the staging and the let me measure the separation between the staging. We've got an opening that is 9.5 inches to the bottom bezel of the light, and it's really about 10 inches. So it's a good opening. I think remember Roy Smith's opening was tighter than that, but I wanted to be able to get back in there if I had to. This does provide that, even though it's not convenient. There will be, even though I've got the supports, in fact, I may be even up to 62 inches on this front level. I'm not sure yet. I think I might raise it a little higher than the supports that I made. I did that. I did that here. I've got about a 2-inch higher than the supports that I made because I wanted to make it better, larger clearance between the staging. Yeah, less switching. Less switching for me as well. It's really going to be about, it'll be more about rail fanning, but the mid-level will have the switching, more of the switching opportunities. But I intend to have, I certainly have more buildings in my closet that I could build for industries. Like I've got the mine, the coal mine. I mean, geez, I don't know that I have room to put it in. I could put the coal mine in, but how do you put all the tracks for that? I mean, it would take up a whole, some of the industries can take up like a whole 8-foot span. And similarly, I do want to make room somewhere, and it's probably going to be along the shelf walls. I intend to have another iconic thing around in this area and in the Pacific Northwest and up into Canada. You get the grain silos. So I've got that kit for those 3 silos. A lot of people have them. Yep, exactly. I just making this stuff as I go, and I'll figure out what things fit where. That mid-level branch line is going to be the main switching opportunities, and that's where, like I said, probably most of it's going to be logging themed. I don't have a sawmill, but I could put a sawmill in and even have a that typical. I've got 2 of those kits for the lumber yards. So I have plenty of log cars. No problem there. I have center beams. No problem there. Flat cars, whatnot. I've got enough that I could model handling all that. At least pretend in a lot of ways. Okay, this operation. Yeah. So because so who's winning? I put my money on JP. But okay. And what's your height, JP? So I'm right at let's see, 70 inches right now. 5'10", if I'm not slouching. Used to be 5'11", I think, but yeah, everybody wins. Isn't that the mantra from after we were born? Everybody gets a participation award. Okay, since Dan, I got his attention, we'll make sure that he sees that I'm running. Let's see, I gotta go back to comments, take that off. Like and subscribe. We're almost done with the show here. Pretty uneventful, but yeah, I had to pull the passenger cars off. Okay, 64 inches. Yeah, mine might go into the 62 to 64 inch. If I do some relief there, some of the track might be higher, so I can make it have some trestles and carved out canyons. I might have to make some exceptions to how I'm probably going to do something which I normally not done, which is really design that bench work of the third level to fit in with the relief. I'm not sure that I'm going to play a game of having some of the scenery transition from the second to the third level. That seems like a lot of figuring out that I'm not so good at. Yep. The bridges do create an interesting drama. And I've got microengineering trestles or bents. I have a lot of those I had from my first iteration of the layout. So I do have a lot of the stuff. But again, it's just where in the journey, the whole thing is just a journey. And who knows if I will even get to everything completely completed before this layout is done. Who knows? It all depends what the future holds. So, yeah, you see the banner. I didn't remember hiding. Let's hide that banner, and let's get this show wrapped up here. So, thank you all so much for watching. Everybody who has been here through the show, even Brother Dan's on the road, able to watch from his car. Do like and subscribe, and also, hey, today and tomorrow are the last days of the month for getting your layout photos. If you need a reminder, get your layout photos over to Roy Smith's Facebook group, the Union Pacific N Scale Evanston Subdivision Facebook group. Get those over there if you want one of those people that posts. Get your photos in, because next week will be layout photos of the month for November. So December 6th is the day. We'll have layout photos and after the photos. And so, yeah, I know. Sorry, Dats, you don't have that Facebook group. That's okay. There's a number of people that continue to post over there. And again, I will try my best to continue to put together that show until it just fades off. Let's say bye to Rocky, and we are getting to the chopper. There goes the chopper. Yeah, cheesy as it is. And remember, I'll be back. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week. And we might even have a few shorts or something in meantime as I update some of the other progress. on the layout. So there you go. Yep, keep highballing. Rocky highballing is that other guy over on Sidetrack Sunday, Ray Bobile. Okay, but anyways, see you all on the next show. Catch Dwight on his show, which is just over 25 hours away. And there you go. Until next time, see y'all. Bye-bye.